Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called On the Basis of Sex. Inspired by the powerful true story of a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg, On the Basis of Sex depicts a then struggling attorney and new mother facing adversity in her fight for equal rights. When Ruth takes on a groundbreaking case, she knows the outcome could alter the court's view of gender discrimination. Stronger together, Ruth teams up with her husband, Martin Ginsburg, to fight the case that catapults her into one of the most important public figures of our time. This is a 2018-2019 film. We'll say 2018. It's rated PG-13. It does run 2 hours, and it stars Felicity Jones, Armie Hammer, Justin Theroux, Jack Rayner, Kaylee Spaney, Sam Waterston, and Kathy Bates, and probably more people. Honestly, you can recognize most of the cast, which I really appreciated that. On the Basis of Sex. Well, I know RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, has had some movies about her in the last, 2 years or so. I did not watch the one called RBG, but this is the second one I know that is about her in her life. And this is kind of about probably the most important one, because it's really amazing how she rose to, be of importance. And I like all the detail. I like all the story. And so, yeah, we'll get into it here. What kind of things about a movie do you like to hear about? The comedy, the drama, the intensity, the acting. A's across the board for this movie because it's just interesting. It really is. It's really interesting. There might be some people out in the world that don't care about a movie like this. If you don't want to hear about gender equality and you don't want to hear about discrimination, you're not open minded to changing laws and all this stuff. If you're on the side of the government in this movie, and you might not like it so much. But if you're open minded, if you consider yourself accepting and loving and religious or whatever you want to say, to open people's rights and treating people fairly and all that stuff, then that's why I like this movie, because I'm on the side of the interesting part of this movie of trying to change law and trying to fight for people's rights and all that stuff. It mentions MLK. It mentions some other women that have been really influential in history and stuff. So it's just really interesting. And that alone can't make a movie, but what else it has is all these actors. Good gosh. I think I recognized most of them, and there's over 1,000 people probably involved with this movie. I noticed all the major ones. I knew all them, so I don't know how they get so many people to be incorporated in one movie, but this was really a stellar cast with some stellar acting and a stellar idea. So to carry it through with such seasoned actors is just amazing. So, like I said, I know who Ruth is, and I know what she's been like on CNN and stuff like that, and so I would say that Felicity really carries out the idea of her. She talks like her, she kind of acts like her, and she fits the bill. So whoever found her is really amazing casting. Yeah, this is completely one of those movies that can be a staple for people because it's about a really important time of our history and how they went about it to achieve success of starting to get the process of gender equality. And it talks about so many things in this movie. It's just going to blow your mind. You really do need to watch it. But some things like women used to not be able to get credit cards in their own name and stuff like that. Just like that blows our minds nowadays. Like how can a gender on this planet not be able to get their own credit card just because they are a gender? Like that one thing blew my mind in this movie. And there's like 20 to 50 situations, and they come up with this thing later in the movie that has like 2,000 situations. It's insane that this country used to run things like that. And it talks about other countries and how every time something happens, like one generation tries to get around a certain law, they'll just change that law. I mean, it's really freaking interesting, and so just please try and find this movie and watch it. But as far as the review goes, like the acting is so tremendous. Like along with how interesting this movie is, all the people are so interesting. Like Army Hammer is beginning to be an all-star, and whenever he's involved with something, you seriously need to pay attention. And his character in this movie, like something happens to him early on, and then he just kind of is a part of the rest of the movie, and you're kind of wondering, and then it actually tells you at the end what happens to him. If you don't know what happened to Martin Ginsburg in real life, then like me, I didn't know, then you kind of wonder during this whole movie, and it adds that extra layer of curiosity along with whatever else is going on. And so they seriously are like trying to throw you four different ways, and each way is, very effective in keeping you involved and interested with what's going on. And then you have to wonder about that one thing from the beginning, but then it brings it back at the end after it hits you with the other three ways of trying to lead you. And they have the facet of daughter and mother arguing. They have the facet of obviously the gender equality. I mean, like Ruth really does try to become a lawyer, and that whole journey is something. So it's just a really, really complete movie. The thing I'd like to say here at the end is that I don't know if I'd like to watch this movie again, but it's so well done. Like, I don't know. It's one of those movies like you have to experience, and once you experienced it, you kind of like treasure it to just be that one time that you watched it. So I'm going to give, on the basis of sex, an A, and I'm going to put a disclaimer on it that this is probably going to be one of the few movies that I rate an A that I don't really think I want to buy and watch again, because it's really an experience, and you need to kind of experience it once and have your mind blown as to what's going on around this country, because it brings out a lot of things. And then go out and have this movie achieve what it probably wants to achieve, is have other people step up and make a difference also. So if you feel led to do that, or if you don't really care about this whole thing, this isn't really for you. But if you want to make a difference in this world by trying to change something, or trying to, fight for rights for someone, this is obviously the movie for you. But it's just a really well done movie. And if most people can just think of it like that, as just a movie, and just watch it and just appreciate it, it really is amazing acting. This is how acting is supposed to be done. It's really amazing. The husband, Army Hammer, is outstanding. Just everything that he does. Is they have one little fight between Ruth and Martin, and it seems a little out of place because they get along so well and they're so connected, and the acting is just tremendous. It's how acting should be. If you want to watch a great acting movie, watch this. I give it on the basis of sex an A. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and enjoy your movies. Thanks.